right. So y'all done seen my face before, but this time I'm rolling by myself. So used to have an old name. Now we got the new name. This the Marvelous Show. And I got a very, very special guest. My man's all MEC team, defensive team, 3 times, 35 sacks, 140 tackles, 5 forced fumbles. He even blocked 2 kicks. My man's blocking kicks. Former NFL player, Redskins. Whoa, my bad. Commanders. Ravens, Giants. My man's Myles Humphrey in the building. Welcome, Myles Humphrey, everybody.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, bro.
My man's Myles. So there's one thing I wanted to say before anybody knows. So this is a funny story about Myles. I think he knows what I'm about to say. So 10th grade year.
He knows what I'm saying.
10th grade year. I'm playing on the basketball team. And it's about time for the football players who want to play basketball to join. Now, Myles don't play basketball at all. He don't play ball at all. But he just walked into the gym with somebody on the team named D'Angelo. He walks in with D'Angelo, and he just gets on the team. He just walks in and gets on the team. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? Like, Myles don't play basketball. I wasn't hating. It was just funny, bro. I just want to know, like, what was your thought process, man?
I used to be like, and we was in 10th grade, right? So like middle school and, like the later years of elementary school, like 4th grade, 5th grade, I played a little bit of AAU. So it was like, I did
hoop back AAU?
Then. I played a little bit of AAU. It wasn't a lot. We didn't do like no huge tournaments. We wasn't traveling to like Florida or nothing like that. But we did a couple of tournaments around the way.
You remember? And what was the name of the team?
Maryland Rockets.
Shit, yeah, y'all didn't do shit. I ain't heard of them at
all. So yeah, a little bit of the middle school days, played some AAU, and then so it's the rules for the county that like. If you play a sport in the fall and you want to play a sport in the winter too, that you have to be able to try out, right? But since we was playing on a football team and we was in a championship, did we go to championship?
Yeah, went to the championship. That was the year Wise had like 10 straight shutouts. Was that the year?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So we had just lost in the championship to Urbana, but because the rules, I got to try out anyway. By the time the end of the season was there, y'all had already finished basketball tryouts. So I just showed up and I was there because I guess I needed extra people or something. I don't know. But yeah, I
whole time we didn't need any, like we knew D'Angelo was coming. Like we didn't need any extra people. You was just there and coach was like, fuck it. Because it's JV. Because coach would always say, don't nobody give a damn about JV. Come on.
It's JV. And look, I had a little bit of hype because I think everybody on the team was like, what?
Everybody was short. Everybody was short.
We only had like maybe 3 guys, maybe 4 guys over 6 foot.
No, we had Micah. Micah was the tall one.
We had Micah. We had D'Angelo. It was me, you, and maybe I think Derek was barely 6 foot.
Derek a little taller than me. Derek like 6'2".
Not in the 10th grade.
Oh yeah, he probably was. Yeah, you right.
Yeah. So I think I got added definitely because of the height. But yeah, it was cool for the time being.
Nah, man. I remember when I first saw you shoot, I was like, what in the fuck is this? It's flat. How you an athlete but got a flat jumper? Like, how? Like,
bruh, I hadn't played basketball like seriously for like maybe 2 years before I walked in there.
Bro, you just
like straight off the field, just walked into the court, like, all right, I'm here to try out. Like, all right.
Yo, man, that shit was so funny. That whole ordeal was just so funny to me. I can't remember what game it was. Like you scored, like you scored like at the end of the game, and everybody was so hyped. When we was
Bladensburg, I remember that. I didn't think I was gonna get in. We was up by like 20, and then it was like 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and I randomly just get in. He said, "Hey, we up by 20, might as well."
Hey, Myles, go ahead, bro. Man, hey, could you dunk back then?
Could I dunk? Nah.
You can dunk now?
I can dunk now. Yeah. For sure now.
I
done got my muscle up. I got the bounce now.
Hey man, I can't dunk. I can't dunk, man. I still shoot it, but I can't dunk. So yeah, man. I remember So you remember Coach Jeff, rest in peace, Coach Jeff. Coach Jeff
Yeah.
always, every time he saw me, was like, when you gonna play football? When you gonna play football? Every time. I'm like, yo, why is you recruiting me so hard? Like y'all got like the best team in the county. What you need me for? I promise you, Myles, the only reason I ain't play football was because Coach Purge said I couldn't play AAU in the summer.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why. Cause I was like,
Yeah.
deal with y'all crazy ass. Oh shit. Blooper. Deal with y'all. Or tournaments, girls, free food. I take the tournaments and the girls and the free food, and the nice hotels, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
At the
mean,
time. Yeah, so Coach Jeff, Coach Jeff always he tried every time he saw me to get me to come to practice or something. But I want to know, bro, what was it like playing for Coach Parrish, man? Because Coach Parrish is like a mythical creature now. He like a legend now.
oh, he is a legend. This man, I want to say, first thing about Coach P is, man, he's gonna challenge you. Like from when he first meets you, it's like, honestly, man, I was nervous as heck when I first met Coach P. Because like I knew my whole life, like, yo, I want to go to the league, but I got to get through this guy. I got to get this guy to like me first. And from the outside coming in, like Coach P, he'll seem like a hard coach, like, real strict, no zero tolerance for nonsense. Like you act up, you out of here, kind of thing, right? He leads a legit program. Like, I mean, and you can see how much has grown since we graduated, 2013. They even won like 3 or 4 championships since we left. And my senior class was the first championship we won. So he already got like at least 4 or 5 championships. Yeah. And Wise opened 09, right? So
06. Like 06.
06? Yeah. Wise opened in 06. So 5 championships in that short time span. That says everything you need to know about him as a coach. Like he's gonna push his players to the max, but he's definitely gonna keep you on your P's and Q's for sure.
Man, I don't know if I ever got a chance to meet him. You know what I'm saying? I probably like said what's up to him in the hallway or something. I probably seen him at a game or something. But I always, people always had good things to say about him. But he looked like he was always like about his business.
For sure.
Like, I don't want to get on his bad side. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't when I wanted to cross. But I feel like with my attitude back then, he would cut my ass up. I feel like he would have threw my ass out of practice.
I mean, he's dealt with his fair share of players. Some of the good players, some of the players with like good talent, bad attitude. He knows how to coach all kinds of people. But if you was just out there gonna be on some nonsense, he wasn't dealing with that.
Yeah, nah, man. Yeah, man. He's he definitely is a legend. Because I think it's funny because when I moved my senior year, I saw that he went to high school at Howard. So I was like, that's DeLon Parrish. Like that's why it's DeLon Parrish. I was like, yo. They had like a plaque with his like all his accomplishments. I'm like, oh, so he was big time here too.
Yeah, Coach P's the man. He's the man. I was actually shocked that he stayed at Wise for a long time because he's still there. I mean, I figured for sure that there's colleges knocking on the door. They probably have given him offers and everything like that to come move up. But he's found his spot, and you see like the amount of people. I can't even count how many people he's put in a college. Like,
for sure.
Like when I was in high school, I want to say you had people. The bigger guys, the bigger names beforehand were like Titus. We went to University of Maryland. Ant McDaniel went to Maryland. So like you would see guys going to Maryland. You would see guys going to like JMU and schools like that. Like
the local
but
schools.
Still kind of big time a little bit. Like but now Wise just had a player play in the national championship at Alabama.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think his name is Kyrie Jackson. I don't want to get his name wrong, but I believe it's Kyrie Jackson. He plays DB. Yeah.
Sheesh.
I think he was a freshman too. They got another dude playing for Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's the dude I was about to talk to, Farouk.
Farouk. Yep.
I saw him
all over the place. Marcus Allen played for Penn State. You know what I mean?
Man,
Uh,
shout out to Marcus.
yeah. So yeah, Coach P, you know what I mean? He's doing this thing. He's getting guys into school, and then hey, once you get to school, that's on you. Do what you got to do.
Hey
And I
man,
want to say
we got a couple
it's at
guys in the
least six
NFL.
of us. It's at least six of us that went to the league. You know,
I know three for
Ryan.
sure. Yeah, no, four
Ryan
for sure.
Smith was
Yeah,
the first one to get drafted by Tampa
yeah.
Bay, and
Ryan,
then
you, Marcus, and there's one
Zach.
more. Zach,
Zach,
yeah,
yeah,
Zach
yeah.
Pascal. Yeah. Hey
And then a couple
man.
guys too after that. There's another dude who broke my sack record named John Daka. I think he's with, I can't remember who he's with right now.
Oh, he broke
But
your sack record? Man.
yeah, he broke it. He broke it like 2 years after I left. And I
Man,
think
you couldn't even embellish the record. Shit.
it was the single season record, but he was a dog,
Oh,
man. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's what's up. What team you say he on?
I know he went undrafted by the Ravens, and I think he was kind of on and off of practice squads last year, so I'm not sure where he's at right now, but he's definitely doing his thing up in there too.
Yeah. So it's one thing I want to say because people I feel like people have this perception like if you're good enough, you'll make it. And I think that's some bullshit. I mean, like when you're like, when you're like Odell, like, Devontae Adams, when you that type of talent, okay, that's one thing.
For
But
sure.
90% of the NFL ain't that.
Right.
So it's like, so it's a lot of things that go into making it, especially when low draft pick or undrafted free agent, because you really can't make no mistakes.
You can't. There's like no margin for error.
There's no I don't think people realize that when you a first, second, third round pick, you got guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? You can fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You can have certain issues and you still be on the team next year. You feel me?
Right.
But somebody like you or somebody who was undrafted, you sneeze the wrong way, a coach will cut you.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I want to know, like, what was your recruitment like when you was going into college?
When I was going into college, my junior year in high school, I had a decent year. I had like 8 sacks my junior year. And then that was just enough for me to like actually get some decent film to like send out to schools. And I never really had like, big time D1 schools like knocking on my door. Like the most I had as far as like those, big time schools, Temple, Syracuse. I think it was just Temple and Syracuse.
I mean, shit, those some big schools though, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But like, it wasn't really like a lot there. Like, they just sent me some mail here and there. Yeah. And I did a lot of camps for sure, but there was no like big schools knocking on my door. At the time, I was like 6 foot, like maybe barely 200 pounds. And I was a defensive end. So like a lot of them big schools, they was looking for defensive ends, 6'4", 225 coming out of high school. Yeah. So a lot of the bigger schools passed on me. But the bulk of my recruitment was like, those FCS schools, the AA's like Towson, Richmond, Monmouth, Lehigh, schools like that, like those JMU, like those kind of schools.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was, I guess there's maybe 2 sides to it, right? So with the NCAA, you got to have a certain SAT score and GPA to qualify to play, college sports with the clearinghouse. And I had those requirements, but there were some private schools that wanted me, but had their own SAT score requirement to get in. And that was a little higher than I was able to get, right? So some of those schools were like off the table because I couldn't get the SAT score. And then there were some other schools where I did qualify, but I just feel like they just like didn't jump on me because of my size. Now, my senior year, I had 25 sacks in one season. So like you would think that like, man, I don't care what his size is, this dude can play. Turn on the film.
And then y'all won states,
Yeah, we won states.
And 4A is like pretty, that's pretty high. That's like right in the, I think, unless you live in like Texas or something, 4A is pretty much as high as you go in that area.
Yeah, 4A is the highest you can go in Maryland. I don't know what Texas might have.
Texas
6A,
Texas goes to 7.
7, yeah.
Texas is huge, bro.
Yeah, but Maryland, the highest you can go is 4A. So for us, we was the kings of the state.
Man, I was like, bro, like, and it was so refreshing to see y'all win that state because y'all got close like twice before. And you know,
Man.
I'm not gonna mention no names, but we know what happened one of those years. I'm not gonna mention no names. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. I'm not gonna
I
say
know
it.
what you mean.
I'm
I know
not
what
gonna
you're talking
say
about.
it, but
Look, ninth grade. So here's the thing. Here's the backstory to that too, right? Ninth grade, the varsity team goes to the national championship. No, it's not state championship. Loses to Old Mill.
yeah.
10th grade, we go back to the state championship. Lose to Urbana. My junior year, we lose first round to freaking Suitland.
Yeah, that was the thing. Junior year was so bad for well, not necessarily bad, but bad for our standards, like bad football and
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
Because basketball lost in the first round, like first or second round too. Because basketball, they don't get to necessarily states, but they get close.
Right.
And it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yo, as like junior year was just bad all around.
Junior year was a bad year, man. Like one and done that's not what we do. Like
Yeah, man.
yeah. So we went to the championship 9th, 10th grade year, lost. Junior year, we were one and done in the playoffs. So all of us, like we were still there the whole time. Like that whole freshman class that we had, and then, you know, some pieces that came in on the later years. All of us had like seen that and went through that, like watching, you know, us lose the championship and then one and done. And we was all determined, like, yo, it's our senior year. We not going out without that championship.
No boy.
And yeah, we beat QO. I think the final
That was
score was
Quince
like
Orchard,
12-7. Yeah, yeah. We beat QO. My man Micah had the last
Micah had the big
TD,
one-hand touchdown.
the
Yeah,
one-hand TD in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And then my man Joe had the pick on the 2-yard line to seal the game. And we need up the clock.
That shit was crazy. That was like a relief. I wasn't there to watch that game because at the time I was dating a girl who went to Douglas, so I was at her game. I was at that state championship, and Douglas got their asses kicked. So I was like, damn, bro. I was so mad. I'm like, I'm over here watching Douglas get their ass kicked, and my school over here winning. I ain't even celebrate. This
right,
messed
look,
up, bro.
And the championship game was at the Raven Stadium.
Yeah, man.
M&T Bank. First time that I ever played at M&T Bank.
Man, bro. Fuck. I'm not mad about. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I missed it only because I saw basketball, so I kind of made up for it.
Yeah,
I saw basketball, so I made up for it a little bit. But yo, I know you was talking about your recruitment. Yo, I know you went to Shepherd, but who could have got you? Like, who was the other school that you really consider going to?
All right, so here's the gritty part. All those schools, like the big time D1, the Temple, Syracuse, that was like never really much interest. Like they just sent me some mail. That was about it. Mm-hmm. The other schools I was telling you, like the FCS schools, you know, some were there, some dropped out, backed out of interest because of the SAT score. Some backed out because they may have found other prospects that they just had higher, you know, hopes than they had on me. Towson was the only remaining FCS school that still showed some interest. Did not offer me a scholarship, but they basically was like, hey, we want you to come as a preferred walk-on, you know. Probably would have had to pay my way through the first year, but after that, you know, being in that system for a year or something, maybe down the line, a scholarship would have came around. So I highly considered it, right? Because I knew I could play D1, but I didn't want to pay my way through that first year. Like, it was just like, y'all clearly telling me, hey, you like me, but you don't love me, right? Yeah. And there was D2s that was interested. Like, there was another school that I had committed to called Alderson Broadus.
Yeah, I know where that's at. That's in West Virginia.
It's in West Virginia. Yep. Yeah. So let me tell you about this, right? So this is my first offer. I go to a showcase on inauguration, the day of
Barack Obama's?
Barack Obama's second inauguration.
Yeah.
I go to a showcase. What is it? Shout out to the Donnie. What is his name? I don't even remember his first name. I'm about to say, I remember something Zimmerman, right? Zimmerman Showcase. And it was up in like Annapolis, that area. And I balled out in the showcase, and these two scouts come up to me. They're from Alderson Broadus, and they say, hey, we like what you did back there. We're familiar with you, went to Wise, you know, Coach Parrish. So we want to offer you a scholarship. And hey, they offered me the scholarship right on the spot before I even walked out of the door for the showcase. So I was amped, like, yo, I just got my first scholarship, right? That was about as much excitement as I had with it. So they scheduled a visit for me. Yeah. I mean, they scheduled a visit for me. And then I went up there with my parents like 2 weeks after that date. And for me, the school just wasn't for me. Like I didn't like the campus. I didn't really get a good fit for the program. At that time, Alderson Broadus was like, I think they were still technically considered like, if they weren't a club sport, their first year competing in the NCAA would have been like the following year of my freshman year, right? So they weren't, I don't even think they were like recognized as an actual NCAA like team at that time. Okay. And it was like, yo, I'm trying to go to the league and I don't even, y'all like still kind of like a club sport. And no shade to them, you know, it's just, that just wasn't, I mean,
it just is what it is.
It is what it is. And then, you know, the athletic director was the head coach at the time. And he was very upfront with me, which I appreciated. But he basically said, hey, we're going to offer you the scholarship, but outside of this door are 2 other guys that play your position. We're also going to offer them too. But the thing is, we only need one of them. So it's really like whoever, you know, commits first is going to get it. And if you come here, you better make sure that you want to play here because I'm the athletic director and I'm not going to sign your transfer papers. So it was kind of like,
damn.
It was kind of like, yo, this is awesome, but this sucks at the same time. Like, this is my only offer. And all you're telling me is I have to commit before them 2 dudes commit outside.
Yeah.
But if I commit, I got to stay here for 4 years and I just don't like it here.
Yeah, that's like, so, that fucking sucks. Like,
yeah,
it's like they try to trap you.
You know, and that's how I kind of felt. Like, so anyway, here's what I did. I committed like 2 days later. Mm-hmm. And then Shepherd came in. Shepherd was kind of, you know, recruiting me too, but they had never offered me until shortly after that visit at Alderson. And then Shepherd offered me. I was like, yo, all right, I'm going to decommit. So I decommitted from Alderson. I committed to Shepherd, signed on sign day. And then, you know, Shepherd, I don't know how much you know about Shepherd. Anybody else out here who's listening knows about Shepherd, man. But Shepherd's a Division II school, but a Division II powerhouse. Like every year we're in the playoffs. Just this past season, went to the Final Four. Not my senior year. My sophomore year, we went to the national championship, lost, but my junior year went to the Final Four. So like we're like one of those teams that's like always going to go pretty deep in the playoffs. And they had at least 3 guys my freshman year who like were legit NFL prospects. And 2 of them actually got to the NFL. One of them played like 4 years in the NFL. His name's Howard Jones. And then the other guy we had was a defensive tackle named Mike Franklin. Yeah. So he got like a tryout with the Steelers in the training camp.
Okay.
So, and we've got a lot of people from you know, the DMV area, guys from Montgomery County, PG County. I want to say since I've been at Shepherd to now, Shepherd has put at least somewhere between 8 to 12 guys in the league. If it wasn't like actually on the roster, it was practice squad or rookie mini camp tryout, training camp invite. You know, it's
man.
It don't really matter how you
put your foot up. You step your foot in the door. You in the door. Yeah, it don't matter how. Yeah, you in the door. It is. That's like, so, regardless. That's tough to accomplish, man.
Yeah, so that's how the recruitment was for college.
Man,
I got my dogs barking in the background.
Nah, you good. You good, bro. So I'm curious. I think I know who you're gonna say because I know who I would say. I'm just curious. When you was in Wise, who was the funniest teammate?
Who was the funniest teammate?
Because I know who I would say if I was. I know who I would say if I was you. But I'm gonna let you answer just to see if we think it the same.
All right. The top dudes that I can remember that was like real funny was D'Angelo, Warren, and Uriah.
D'Angelo was more like corny funny. Like he wouldn't like roast you, but he would just do shit. I never forget he tried to prank. I never forget him and you remember Dijon?
I remember Dijon,
Him and Dijon stupid ass tried to prank call me one time. Like, that shit was so stupid. I remember it because I didn't even know Dijon was in the background until like he just saying something because I don't know Dijon's voice like that.
Yeah.
But Red stupid ass is like, hello, we're looking for Mr. D Shiznit. I was like, bro, I was like, yo, D'Angelo, what the fuck, bro? Like, who is
Right.
this? Like, come on, man. I like
Yeah.
he just kept going with it like it wasn't him. Like it was hilarious. They was just hilarious, man.
That's what they was, but they were just goofy.
Yeah, for real. I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say Warren. Warren be cracking me up, man.
Man, Warren was hilarious, bro. Like
Warren, like, because Warren is like he has like a Jonable, like look at Warren, it's easy to pick something out. So he gotta be ready. Like he gotta be ready, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like this is they ain't be roasted. I'm just saying, like it's easy to pick something out, bro. Like you see him, it's like, okay,
yeah.
6'4", big
6'4",
ass black nigga with dreads,
300
dark as
pounds with
shit.
dreads.
looking like T-Pain
With the glasses.
with the glasses. Like
People used to be going on Warren on site.
you remember
And
when Warren
you
wore
was right, he
skinny
had to be
jeans?
ready.
You remember that shit? Warren wore some skinny jeans. I don't know how the fuck he got them bitches. Warren gave the skinny jeans stretch marks. I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro.
Hey, you got to tag Warren to this, bro. This is hilarious.
Oh man, hey, that's my guy. Hey, that's my.
Hey, shout out to Warren,
Hey,
man.
Warren's still my guy though. But,
You my
hey,
guy,
man.
Warren.
Hey, Uriah was like, Uriah was the type of dude who just looked for trouble. It was like, oh shit. You see Uriah sitting over there. You don't even want to make eye contact because he ready to say something.
You know he's gonna say something.
Like, fuck you looking at Jeremiah, fat ass boy. I was like, hey, goddamn, bro. Won't need to do all that. Shoot. That shit, man.
Yeah, man, I missed them guys, man.
Man, yeah,
we had some good dudes on that team.
Facts, man. Like, we move on. You move on to the okay, so what was it like when after your senior year, like
In high school or college?
no, college. So like, did you feel like you had a good chance to get drafted, or was it kind of like you knew this was gonna be like an undrafted free agent situation?
I thought for sure I could have at least got like a 6th-round pick. Like being honest, I had 40 career sacks in college. Like there was nobody.
I was off, but still.
Yeah, there was nobody. So I went undrafted in 2018, right? I think the number one like pass rusher that got drafted was Bradley Chubb. And Bradley Chubb was legit too. So like, sure. No shade, nothing like that. Bradley Chubb was legit. There was nobody in that draft class though that had 40 career sacks. You know what I mean? I had 40 career sacks. I had like 70 tackles for loss. 200 plus tackles. Like you look at the film and the numbers, I thought for sure I could have at least got a 6th-round pick. At least, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, that was, man, that process sucked. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't have fun at all with that. Like playing my senior year was awesome. We went undefeated in the regular season. Unfortunately, went one and done my senior year. We lost in the first round of playoffs to a team that was like a 6 seed. We was the number 2 seed. We lost to a 6 seed. I mean, that it sucked. Right. Yeah, nothing to say about that. It's just, it is what it is. And then right after my senior season, I thought I did enough to like play in, a big all-star game. Right. So college football, there's like 3 big all-star games that you want to get invited to. Obviously the best one is the Reese's Bowl. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't get invited to that. And then after the Reese's Bowl is, the East-West Shrine game and the NFLPA Bowl. Right, because there's like actual like NFL coaches that coach those games. So your position coaches are going to be NFL coaches. There's going to be, there's going to be GMs in the stands, head coaches in the stands. Like those are like the legit 3 all-star games you want to get invited to, just because that like you're going to be working with NFL personnel, and that's a chance for you to build relationships with them off the jump. And then number 2, like actually play in front of them, right? Yeah. So I didn't get invited to any of those. I thought that I had, made a good case to get invited, didn't get invited. I got invited to some small school all-star games for sure, but in my opinion, I feel like I dominated Division II. So like, I didn't want to play in a Division II or small school all-star game because I felt like I'd already dominated that level of competition.
You ever thought about transferring?
Transferring
like
from Shepherd?
Like your junior year transferring to,
No. I had a good setup at Shepherd. That was the place for me. Like I knew that there was opportunity for me to make it to the NFL, like being there. Like my freshman year, I was telling you about those two guys that went to the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And then my junior year, we had my sophomore year, another dude, you probably might know him. He's from the area, Chanel Jenkins. He went to Suitland. He went to Shepherd with me. He went undrafted in like 2016, and he played for a couple of teams: the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Seahawks. And then we had two other guys the following year who went undrafted. A guy named Billy Brown and Trey Sullivan. Trey Sullivan went to Gwynn Park. They played for the Eagles.
DMV deep in the NFL.
Yeah, man. DMV got some ballers.
What is they talking about?
Yeah. So I had already known that, like, it's people who have been on my team who I've lifted in the weight room with, you know what I mean? Like, we've been playing together for 2, 3, 4 years, right? So it's guys that I know that's on my team that's in the league. Like, so there was no reason for me to transfer. So yeah, I had a great setup at Shepherd.
I got you. So what was it like? What was it like when you got that call from you was with the Ravens first, right?
Yeah. So let me take you through it, man. So like after I went through the combine prep, I did my pro day. There was 4 teams that showed up to my pro day. The Ravens sent 2 scouts, the Titans were there, the Colts were there, and the Buccaneers were there.
Was it just a Shepherd pro day, or
yeah,
was you at a bigger school?
It was a Shepherd pro day, but they opened it up to a couple of guys in the conference who, had, some good numbers or whatever. They opened it up to some guys in the conference to participate. But yeah, so I had a good pro day. And then after that, the Ravens invited me to a local pro day. So I went to, the Ravens training facility, and I worked out in front of the Ravens coaching staff. And then after that, it was about maybe 3 weeks into the draft. Between that time period, after I did my Ravens pro day and the draft, I was getting phone calls from like a bunch of teams. Like, I got phone calls from at least like 10 teams, just saying, hey, we want to make sure this is a good phone number for you to call you during the draft, after the draft, or whatever kind of thing. And, basically that was kind of what it was leading up to the draft. So I knew who was interested, based off the weeks leading up to it. Man, now I watched almost every pick of that draft. My phone went once. Talk about like humbled and hurt, man.
Man,
like, I would never want to relive that day.
Man, it's like I feel like some people, like, you're not gonna get drafted, so you kind of prepare yourself for that.
Yeah.
But when you feel like, okay, I'm better than him, I know I'm better than him.
And look,
and you see it, and it's like, bro,
this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part, right? I had 40 career sacks in college. And I went D2, so that's probably one of the reasons why they looked at it like he had 40 sacks, but he went D2. Like, what would those numbers mean if, we was D1? Whatever. Don't matter. Like, I still did it. The film don't lie. This is the part that got me. I would see dudes getting drafted in the 5th round, and these James be like, dude went to LSU or whatever and had like 8 career sacks. Like, what? Like,
8 career sacks in 4 years.
You go to a big time school. You sit on the bench for 3 years. You have 1 good year, and you get 8 sacks, and you get drafted in the 5th round. Meanwhile, there's guys who go to FCS schools, D2, even D3 schools, putting up big numbers, and it's like they went to a small school.
It's D2, D3.
Yeah.
Then you stop acting like D2 and D3 don't means you can't play in the NFL.
Right? You can
plenty
play,
of guys. There's plenty of guys who D2, D3 played in NFL.
NFL went balling too, right?
Exactly. So
going back to your question, like what was it like?
Yeah.
By the time the 6th round went off, my agent calls me, and he basically was like, "Yeah, I talked to so and so, and he mentioned the Ravens, and he said, yeah, I talked to the Ravens, and he said they drafted 2 outside linebackers, the previous draft, like the previous draft year." They drafted 2 outside linebackers, so they weren't gonna, draft any more outside linebackers. That's what I, was was going as an outside linebacker in the draft. But they said what they were going to do was invite me to their rookie minicamp. And they was going to invite 4 other guys in my position, and they was going to make us compete. And whoever had the better minicamp was going to get signed, right? So here's what my options was. The Baltimore Ravens invited me to their rookie minicamp. The Jacksonville Jaguars invited me to their rookie minicamp. So in the NFL, you know, after the draft, there's like half the teams that do their rookie minicamp the week after the draft, and then the other half do the rookie minicamp the following week after that, right? So I had the Ravens minicamp lined up the first week. I had the Jaguars minicamp lined up the second week. And then if I didn't make the Ravens or the Jaguars, there was a CFL team. I don't remember which one it was, but there was a CFL team who already wanted me to play. Like, I guess they already own my rights. Like, if I was going to the CFL.
Oh yeah, you probably did get drafted by a CFL team.
I don't know.
Because that's pretty much that's how it works.
They already had my rights, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, that was my three options. You know, it's either you make the Ravens team, you make the Jaguars team. Well, I was going to Canada, and I did not want to go to Canada. So
he was like, I don't want to go to Canada.
I didn't want to go to Canada. So I went to that Ravens rookie minicamp. I balled out, and then man, they signed me right after the minicamp ended. So yeah, that's how my NFL career started. I got a tryout to the Baltimore Ravens rookie minicamp, and I'm rocking my Ravens gear, man. I'm a Raven for life. You know what I mean? That's the team that gave me my first shot.
That's how it is, B. I fuck with it. Hey, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. So my bad. But hey, I'm just curious. You met Ray Lewis?
I did meet Ray Lewis.
How was that?
So the first time I met Ray Lewis, he was actually a guest speaker at my church. So he was, we had like a men's conference, and yeah, they brought him in, and he's a real interesting guy. Like the way he is on TV is exactly who he is as a person, right? That's exactly like this is the way he speaks. That's him. Like high energy, you know, kind of intimidating.
I mean, I see a big swole ass dude with a big personality. Shit, like
yeah. So that was the first time I actually met him, was at the men's conference at my church. And then, you know, just being with the Ravens for the, you know, time I was there, he would kind of pop in and out. So yeah.
Who was your favorite Raven teammate?
My favorite Raven teammate. Good question. I guess I would say on offense, definitely Lamar. Like, we was the same rookie class. Just watching like his journey, like, you know, you got to cheer for him. Like, I don't know how people still hate on him or critique him. Like,
I mean, critiquing is kind of part of it, but you know, hating on him, like, I can't hate that.
Well, I mean, critique in a way as like, it's like he's always been compared to somebody else. Like they'll pull up his stats and say he's like, I don't know, underperforming somebody who's, I don't know, it's not even the same system. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you compare numbers for two different kinds of system QBs? Like,
and I don't know. Have two different responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not finna ask, you know, Patrick Mahomes to run for 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so what about defense?
Defense, I would say, was probably Matt Judon. Like, another reason, like we was talking about earlier, like, you know, D2 guys who's actually like tearing up the league.
Oh, he was
like,
D2? What school did
Matt Judon went to Grand Valley State.
Oh,
that's
word?
D2. Yeah.
Oh, I know that's D2, but I didn't know he went there. That's dope.
Yeah. Grand Valley State. So, you know, he's been doing this thing in the league. He's a real funny guy too. Like, I don't know if you follow him on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, but he's a real funny person. Like, to be around, great football player. Like, so I'd say
he was
that's
a late round pick too, wasn't
he? Yeah, I think he was fifth or sixth round, something like that.
I thought so.
Yeah,
man. All right. So, what about the other stops? Tell me about Washington.
Washington, that was my last stop. 2019. So this was July of 2019. Training camp had already started, and I can't remember who it was, but they cut, you know, some linebacker like the first day of training camp, and I guess he was one of their starters. So they called me like that next day, and this was at like almost like 8:00 at night, and I was living in an apartment like in Columbia, Maryland.
My
At the
city.
time.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Columbia. That's my
I
city,
was in
man.
an apartment in Columbia at the time,
Mhm.
and they called me at like 8:00 at night, and it was like, yeah, we want to work you out. Can you be in Richmond tomorrow morning at like 10:00? And like I said, I'm in Columbia, Maryland. I mean,
Richmond is a
Richmond,
3.5 hour drive.
yeah, somewhere in between, about 2 hour, 2 or 3 hour drive. Yeah. So yeah, they give me a call at 8:00 at night, and real random too. Like I think I was playing like PlayStation. I was playing like Red Dead or something like that. And I get a random phone call, and yeah, it's like, yeah, we want to work you out. And can you be in Richmond by tomorrow, like 10 a.m.? So like, all right, cool. So I drove down there, and I worked out for them. The workout was literally like maybe 10 minutes. Like all we did was, went through some bags. They wanted to see me, do some drops, like pass coverage, kind of drill to see how I move, kind of thing. And then they signed me right there. So I went through. I got signed right after that, and then now I'm in training camp. Like they had already been practicing for like at least 2 or 3 days, right? Mm-hmm. So they're already like, they're already going full speed at whatever they were doing. So I initially go out there. They signed me as an outside linebacker, and I'm doing pretty good there. They said that because when I played for the Ravens, I played outside linebacker and inside linebacker. So they knew I had experience doing both. So it was like, yeah, I remember you played for the Ravens. We want you to play, some inside backer for us too. So I was kind of like playing 2 positions there, and then doing my thing on special teams. And hey man, I tore my ACL the second preseason game. So
man,
against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is my first game playing at FedEx Field. Like I grew up like watching
grew up
football
down the street, man.
Down the street, like grew up 20 minutes away from FedEx Field. Like grew up watching football at FedEx Field every Sunday. Like my dad was a season ticket holder for the Skins. So first time ever playing in that stadium, tear my ACL. Yeah, man. I was running down on punt. I hit the dude. And mind you, this is like 30 seconds before halftime. Running down there, hit the dude. My knee goes in and out. And then I start jogging off the field, and that jog turns into like a limp. And then, no, it was a jog. Then it turned into a walk. And then that walk turned into a limp. I went to the trainer. They was like, yeah, it's halftime is 30 seconds away. We went inside the locker room. They gave me an x-ray. They was like, yeah, you got a fracture, like right under your knee. So they ruled me out for that game. And I didn't go back in. The next day, bro, I couldn't even get out of bed. Yeah, I had to get an MRI. So my wife, she was my fiance at the time. She was in the hotel with me. I literally had to like use her like as a crutch because I couldn't even walk down the hallway.
Your wife is small, bro.
Right, she hold up me. I'm like 245, 250 at the time, like just trying to get down to the elevator, right? Yeah, I had MRI the next day, and they confirmed that I tore my ACL, my meniscus, and that fracture that they saw was a tibial plateau fracture.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, man. So I after that was it. So I was on the IR, and then I spent the entire year on the IR trying to rehab, build my leg back, and then the entire coaching staff gets fired. They bring in Ron Rivera and the new staff, and then at that point it was like they'll re-sign me when I get cleared. Well, not re-sign me, but they'll bring me back in for a workout when I got cleared. Mm-hmm. And the doctor cleared me, but we all know what happened in 2020, COVID, coronavirus, pandemic, everything got shut down. And that was really a huge, setback for me because it was like, I'm finally healthy and I'm trying to get back to playing. And there was teams interested, but I couldn't work out because COVID shut everything down. Yeah. So it wasn't on the team 2020. I thought 2021 was going to be my comeback year, but yeah, there was no interest after that. So it was kind of like, all right, I just got to move on with my life at that point.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So are you like done with football or like?
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Okay.
So no XFL, no USFL, no none of that.
No. There was a team in Canada that was still interested. after that. But it was like, man, I had realized like, yo, I'm about to have a daughter. I'm not trying to be, going to Canada or still trying to chase something that's not there. Like I got, I got my degree. I'm getting my MBA right now, so I'm getting ready to graduate by the end of the year. I was like, I feel like now is the time to transition.
Where you going? Where you going to school?
Indiana University.
Oh,
So,
PA
yeah, I'm getting,
or Indiana?
The big one, IU.
Oh, okay. Online school.
Yeah, doing it online. So, like I said,
That's
I'm
why I was like
graduating at the end of
Indiana.
the year.
I was like, I
Yeah,
bet
man.
though.
Yeah.
That's what's
So,
up, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Let me get to these, because one thing about me is I got a lot of opinions and people don't necessarily like them. And sometimes I'll be like, well, can't change my mind. So I'm gonna give them to you. You can just briefly tell me what you think. And you can look at me crazy. You can call me whatever you want to call me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. All right. So first things first, Larry Fitzgerald, greatest receiver of all time.
Greatest of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody could make a good argument why he is. I probably couldn't say that, but you could make a good argument. I'll say that.
I'm just like, man, I was like, man, this man catches everything. I'm just like, God damn. And no matter who throwing him the ball,
I feel like if he would have won the Super Bowl, maybe
winning that Super Bowl would have just man. But the whole postseason run was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
If he would have capped it off with a bowl, that would have been perfect, man. It would have been something else, man. All right, next one. This one might be a little more shocking. Give me Drew Brees over Peyton Manning. I know that might bother you because you was the Peyton Manning guy.
I definitely was a huge Peyton Manning fan. Now, but see, Brees beat Peyton in the Super Bowl, so that's a good argument.
I mean, yeah, but this is why I say that though, because a lot of times Drew Brees' teams, like Drew Brees' defense, let him down repeatedly.
Yeah.
So like he would put up the similar numbers, but then because Peyton's team won a little bit more, he got some of those MVPs. Same with Aaron Rodgers. Same with Matt Ryan and Tom Brady. Like Drew Brees is up there with anybody when it comes to production, but and also like everybody who goes with Drew Brees eats. Some niggas you be like some of the receivers Drew Brees had. This was like, dang, he made it work. Like he made Willie Snead almost got 1,000 yards with Drew Brees. Like Peyton Manning walks in getting Marvin, then got Reggie Wayne, then got Dallas Clark, then got he even got 1,000 yards out of Brandon Stokely. Then you move on, you get Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Wes Welker. I'm like, God damn, bro.
Right, yeah.
Like,
it would be hard for me to put Brees over Peyton, but man, they both two Hall of Famers, man. Like
it's tough. All right, Marshawn Lynch over Adrian Peterson.
Nah, AP on that one. AP on that one.
I'm big on showing up in big games, and Marshawn, playoffs, I'm gonna take my guy. A little bit of bias, but I'm gonna ride with my guy.
That's fair to say. I just think that AP has just solidified himself as like that guy. Like how you tell your ACL come back 6 months later and lead the league in rushing.
Okay, now I mean, yeah, he's a fucking mutant in that perspective. Oh damn, my camera fell. He's a motherfucking mutant from that perspective. Oh, you know what? The bloopers are gonna be real. Okay, stay right there. Okay. Yeah, the bloopers are gonna be real. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's just my whole thing. Bill Belichick ain't shit without Tom Brady.
Well, I mean,
hey man, 9 years without Tom Brady, only went to the playoffs 2 times.
Hey, listen. Tom I think he's definitely solidified himself as the greatest of all time. Like there's no arguing that.
I ain't arguing.
As much as I never liked the Patriots, you can't argue that. like there's like I don't know who you put ahead of.
You can't really you really can't it's Tom is the GOAT, man. I ain't really got much to say about that. There was one more thing. There was one more I was thinking of. Just lost. Just lost it. Oh, but I do believe that Lamar Jackson's gonna get a Super Bowl out the Ravens.
I think so too. I think so too.
I truly believe that Lamar Jackson will be a huge win for the culture. You know,
Man,
I'm not discounting Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson because they are black, but it's a little different.
Man,
It's
like
it's a little different because
I feel like Lamar is a guy that everybody should want to see win. Like, I know he got his fair share of hate, man, but like
Bill
Lamar
Polian.
bring one back to the Ravens, man.
Bill Polian.
Yeah.
Bill Polian that. Why don't he play receiver? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That shit
I would love to see it happen, man. Hopefully within the next 2-3 years, we'll see it happen.
I still think T.O. can play in the NFL.
Probably can.
You know, you in a little FCF, a little joint, right? Fan control football joint.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, look, hey, man, I hope. Now, I never looked like T.O. in my life, but I hope at 48 I can be somewhat like that.
Right, for sure.
Fuck, bro. I hope, man. 48, I look like that. It's a wrap.
Still got to saucing people up, man.
As long as I'll be, but me, I like to eat, so fuck it. It's all good. I still hoop though, but I like to eat. Man. All right, last one. Aaron Donald is as good as Lawrence Taylor.
For sure. I mean, two different generations, but like it's like
just the same level of like dominance, the same
dominance.
Level,
Yeah.
Like, I mean you can't compare the positions, but like,
yeah,
it's like Taylor put the fear of God in people. And it's like Donald just blows.
Aaron Donald be getting triple teamed and still getting sacked. Like, who else does that?
Like, like Aaron Donald is my worst nightmare being a Seattle fan. Like, he is my worst nightmare. Because I remember when he got drafted and I had no idea who he was. And I was looking at the film like, oh Lord. Because the Rams already had a good defensive line. And Robert Quinn was my worst nightmare. And I was like, oh my God, it can't be worse than Robert Quinn. And here come Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald and Russell Wilson's backside, he must have some type of vendetta against that man. Because, like, good God, man. I'll just be like, yo, we cannot block this dude. Well, I mean, nobody can.
Nobody can block him.
Like, nobody can. But it's like sometimes you just hope just for a second. Like, just hold it for a second, man. Damn. And he blows everything up, man. You know what? Man. I would love to see Aaron Donald rush against 5 people by himself and to see if he could get out of it. I believe he could.
He probably could.
He could.
Against 5 people, he might not get the sack, but I guarantee he ain't getting the
sack. But I just want to see
he gonna get a good pressure for sure.
Yeah, I just want to see like could you imagine like if they was like prevent defense? Oh no, we only rushing Aaron. Like,
hey, I love to see that.
I did that on Madden one time, man. But it wasn't Aaron Donald. It was Joey Bosa.
Hey, Bosa.
I put everybody on the spot and let Joey Bosa rush, and he just got the sack somehow. It was the last play of the game. Cuz was pissed. He's like, "What the fuck?" Hey, do you play Madden, bro?
I did, man. I gave my PlayStation to my nephew, so I don't really play it anymore. But man, it was definitely fun. I will always add myself to whatever team I was playing with.
I would hope so. Shit.
Yeah.
Hey. All right. One last question. I'm gonna let you get up out of here. What is it like seeing yourself on a video game? Like, what is that actually like? And they actually have your picture. Because back in the old days when you were trash, they didn't even put your picture up there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they didn't even put your name. There was what was it, Madden 2000? Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady. He was quarterback 12. Like, no picture. He was quarterback number 12.
Man, it was surreal. Like, what game was that? I think it was, Madden 18 or 19, one of those games. That was my first time being on there. And I was like, yo, I'm really on freaking Madden.
Yo, I said the same thing when I see you, when I see Ryan, when I see Marcus, when I see Zach. I'm like, dang, like, Wise really is represented on this.
Yeah, man. Wise got like, I think there's currently like 4 guys from Y still in the league, but like I think overall, at least 5 or 6 of us made it.
We need one in the NBA. Somebody gotta get us in the NBA, man.
Somebody gonna be there.
I know one. I don't know if you remember Wayne. You remember Wayne Langston?
I remember Wayne. Yeah, I remember Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne. I think Wayne in Italy right now.
Okay, yeah, he's
Yeah,
going
Wayne
to
used to play with Wayne. Wayne used to I think he played with Ja.
Okay.
They both went to Murray State. I think he played with Ja. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
My timeline could be wrong, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Wayne over there in Italy or something right now, balling out.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get one of these guys in the NBA real soon.
Seeing Wayne playing overseas really bothers me. Not because I'm hating, because I wish all the success in the world, but I just think about, dang, man, we used to play one-on-one in the backyard and go back and forth. We used to play one-on-one in the street and just go back and forth.
Yeah.
And like, he's a professional and I didn't do shit. Like that. I was like, damn, bro. That's what it is.
It's all
man.
good, man.
It's all right. Oh, well, you didn't see that. I made a basket with my ball.
All
Damn,
right.
That would have been perfect for the camera to catch. Fuck. It's all right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, though. I know you got some business to handle, but I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate
blessing me with your presence, man.
Yeah,
Shepard's all-time greatest defender.
Appreciate it.
Wise is all-time greatest pass rusher. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, homie. Appreciate you, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
We out.